with me. I have started the recording, Dan. I was going to start the recording about 45 seconds ago, and he's like, hang on, let me fix my hair. And then he's like, oh, my stand-up desk is broken, so I'm sitting here. Oh, should I be closer to the screen, further away? It was just,
Yeah.
you were like a Hollywood drama queen, just
Oh,
like I would imagine some of those A-list female celebrities are out in Hollywood. That's what you just were.
yeah. Well, you got to do that once in a while. Keep it fun.
That's right. That's right. It actually interesting when you get ready to click record. It just like even I feel it. Like I feel in the pit of my not so much here because I'm not the one delivering as much content, or this is just friendly too. But anytime I hit the record button, it just is different, and it adds a different level of things. So
It does.
I think the lesson there is you got to just get used to it. Like that starts to go away and it starts to get easier the more you practice. But
Yeah.
that lesson is not why we're here. I'm here. Dan and I were talking here recently. Dan is a colleague and a friend. We're in a mastermind group together and
Yep.
have gotten to know each other well over the last couple of years. Goes back a long ways, but better.
Yeah.
Gotten to know a lot closer the last couple of years. Dan has worked with several of my remodeling clients to help them become better chief architect users. You guys may recognize him from chiefexperts.com. That's the website, right?
Chief Experts Academy, chiefexperts.com or Chief Experts Academy. They go to the same website.
Either
Yep.
or.
Yep.
And Dan has just has a background from running a remodeling business. Started his coaching consulting specifically on Chief Experts many years ago, and is arguably, maybe not even arguably, the go-to guy when it comes to chief architect. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
It froze up there for a second.
Well,
Okay,
it's
so Dan.
there are other guys that know how to probably run the software as well as I do, but the experience that I have with my 20 years of plus of contracting and then 26 years of dealing with contractors and remodelers and designers and architects and everybody else, and have drawn thousands of plans, and I draw plans every day. Yeah, I'm pretty good with this thing.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Plus
So
I've taught thousands of people. If you really want to learn something, teach.
there you go. So Dan Baumann is his name. And what the agenda for this little recording is one, for me to just say, hey guys, this is somebody that I vouch for and I think is really good at what he does.
Thank you.
If you are using Chief Architect to continue to improve the functionalities, the features, to be faster at designing and creating better designs can be a huge advantage when you're out there competing against other remodelers or just giving an excellent client experience. So what we wanted to do, I was talking with Dan a few weeks ago, and he does these in-person, are they 2-day?
Well, they can go 2, 3, or 4 day.
2, 3, okay.
Yeah.
He's flexible around your guys' schedule, either 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. He just wrapped one up in the Philadelphia area a couple weeks ago, and they are in-person training. And one thing I know is that one, if it's local, that's super convenient. But I also know that anytime you disconnect from your business and go somewhere to specifically hone your craft and get better, it is very rarely that you will find that a waste of time or not a very profitable, good ROI. So what we wanted to do is just, Dan, for you to talk about these classes that you have coming up, where they're at, what they cost, what to expect, how you go about them. And at the end of this, if people are like, you know what, that's something I want to look into more, we'll put a link in wherever I post this. And just wanted to record this in a way that can let people know what's up.
Oh, that'd be cool, Kyle. Thanks. Yeah. I've been doing chief architect training for about 25 years now. I've trained thousands of users on the program. So these classes, everybody has a different learning style. Some people just do the software and they figure it out and that's good enough for them. Others will they'll read the book and that's good enough. They'll watch videos and that's good enough, or they combine some of that. But some people just need to be locked in a room for 2, 3, or 4 days and get all the distractions gone. And then we can focus on chief architect. And those that come to my classes.
Do you actually lock them in?
No.
Kind of.
But they're expected to stay in the room, and we do ask to turn the phones off. So, but I understand things come up and you have to take care of them. So we're flexible, but just getting in a distraction-free environment and focusing on chief architect it's really amazing how that works. So let me just share my screen here, and I can go onto my website and talk about this a little bit. my website, chiefexpertsacademy.com, and you can go there. And when you go to the home page, currently you'll see a map of some of the different locations that we're going to. This will change. All right.
Dan, stop clicking it. Just be patient.
No way. Come on. Why is it not working? Oh, I'm in the
there we go.
Different homepage. So there's me, and right now I've got 6 classes planned. I just finished one in Philadelphia. We're heading to Milwaukee, Detroit, Minnesota, and then we're going to be in at the International Builders Show, Orlando, and then in Dallas at the beginning of 2020. So a lot coming up.
Cool.
You can click on that map and you can see what we have available right now. And again, I appreciate you taking the time to let me explain this, Kyle.
Yeah. Warning, Dan will make you take a group photo and he'll make you go, all right, everybody act silly. I have lived through this and done this one time.
Yeah, or I just say smile now and everybody does, or, or say hi. So that works too. But those are always my favorite pictures. It's the ones where people aren't posing, they're just being natural, kind of like when we started this video. So, I'll explain the Detroit class. My classes are all the same. Basically, I work them. I don't have I don't do a beginner, intermediate, advanced class. I do a chief architect best practices class, because I've had people in my classes that are new and people in my classes that have been using the software a long time. And I find the same thing happens quite often, is that they're doing okay with the software, but since they've never taken any formal training or really dug into the software, neither the beginner or the advanced user have really gotten the grasp of how the software really works. So just anybody that comes to my classes will learn a ton. Now, if you've been using the software a little longer, you'll learn more immediately than if you're new to the software. If you're new to the software, you're going to get to see a really amazing overview of how the software works, and you're going to approach it now from a point of view where you know the roadmap of how you should be creating your plans. So let me just run through this real quick. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, you got your puppy there.
That's Lucy. That's Lucy the dog.
Yeah,
but Bailey's coming over to try to distract her.
Okay, cool. So the way I work it is I do the first 2 days are what I call discovery and best practices. This is where I run through the basics of of using the program, explaining the different parts of the program, from she'll set up to using it, to creating 3D models, to creating the details, to creating the working drawings and doing the renderings and things like that. So she's like 5-6 programs in one, depending on what you're trying to do with it. So if you go to the site, you'll see, click the little drop downs, it'll run through some of the things that we're going to cover through the day, through the different days. And sometimes I'm a little flexible with what we're covering depending on who's in the class. So I'm pretty good at adjusting my class and my teaching style to who's in the room. Gotcha. And I also have an assistant.
Typically, how many people are coming to these?
Classes will range from a half dozen to 24 is kind of my size. I usually have an assistant with me. John has been helping me teach classes for a long time now. He does a fantastic job. So sometimes people have questions as we're working through the topics. John will come and help them independently of the rest of the class, so we can kind of keep the class flowing. So that's been working great. Plus, we're always around at lunchtime, after class, whenever, to answer questions. When we get into day 3, so we got day 1 and 2, and then we get into day 3, and that's where we dig into what's called the template of Chief Architect. I have a template that I've developed over the years that I've literally spent thousands of hours putting this together, that we use in the class, and I teach you how to use this thing. It'll save you a boatload of time. One student in my class last time saw my template, started using it, and I showed her a couple things about how it works, and she said, this is going to save me 25% on every plan I do, because of the way she had been doing it. So it's a pretty big deal on how these templates work. And I bring out what this is all about and how you use it. So that's what day 3 is all about. So we work with the template. I show you how I set it up. And then we finish, the first 2 days, we're actually creating a plan. And on the 3rd day, we take that plan and we turn it into a working document, so that you see how the different views get put together on those sheets. that you would submit to the building department and, you know, everybody else involved with the project. So that's really cool. And then the fourth day we get into, I call it advanced features, but really it's just a big Q&A day. So we get into terrain, we get into more CAD tools, more with the roofs, more, you know, we just dig deeper into certain areas of the program. So again, you can look at the drop down here and you can see I have a lot of different topics that we can dig into. We obviously won't make it through all of those, but again, I pull the class, what the class is most interested in. That's what we talk about on day 4. So that's how it works. You also get access to an online website at my on-site a members area online for chief experts that you can log into. I'll have downloads there for the template and other things, you know, videos, things like that that you'll get. There'll also be a contact list of everybody that's in the class. So it's just a way to stay in touch with those that you've met at the class. There'll be a location where we're going to be. Just a little note from me. There I am. So, you know, it's all hands-on. We're there with you, working with you, and we want to make sure that you're well taken care of, that your questions are answered. So we will do that. So you'll see different pictures from different happy classes. People. You know, I love taking pictures of these classes and the people that attend them, and it's just so much fun. This one over here, the blue tablecloth, we did that one in Denver 2 years ago. And that was one of my larger classes. We had 26 people and we just had a ball. Everybody, you know, because I learn a lot at these classes too, because you get different people, different user levels that come in and we'll all be talking and they'll have good ideas. And it's just that sharing that goes on and the networking is really amazing. A few testimonials from some of my previous ones. Here's the layout of the class. So now if you want to attend all 4 days, it's $11.97. If you want to just come to the first 3 days. Now I used to do the first 2 days, but now I do the first, I kind of want you to come to the first 2 days. If you can't come to the first 3 days, and it's going to bounce around because of my testimonial above it. If you can't come the first 3 days, call me or just buy the $6.97. You can come to either the first 2 days or the last 2 days. But I highly recommend you at least come for the first 3 days really get the overall view of the software of Chief Architect and then how to put your plans together. You'll learn a ton. I guarantee it. I also make it available for days 2 and 3 for days 3 and 4 for people that are more experienced with the software and just want a little refresher. They want to come in and learn about the template that I've developed and how it works. You can just come to that. So you come to the day 3 and 4 and that works well too. So I pretty flexible.
So let me
get there. Yeah.
So let me wrap it up by saying, I was thinking of another question, but I'll go with a question that's specific about this. No, I'm going to ask this other question. It has nothing to do with your classes. But if you're a remodeler who's been listening to this, just look, if you use Chief Architect and you haven't had a lot of training in it, this is going to be very, very valuable. But here's the question. How would you answer this, or what would you comment on, you know, as a remodeler, being able to create the designs, to offer the design services? One, what are the advantages of that? And two, and this is give me some quick answers so we keep the people excited, or, I wonder what else he would say about that. One is, what is the advantage of being able to do this in-house? If maybe I'm a new Chief Architect user, I'm kind of thinking about doing this more. And number two, you can't charge for this, can you? When you're a remodeler, you can't charge for your designs. You got to do this for free, don't you?
Well, 40 years ago, maybe. That was the thought process that happened. Nowadays design needs to be, it really does need to be a profit center in your business. And I actually talk about that a lot in all of my classes. So you're not only going to learn some chief things, you're going to learn a little bit about why you need to be charging. If you're not already charging more, if you're charging nothing now, why you should be charging. I'll give you some great ammo on why you need to do that. People that make planning a profit center find that they get to spend more time with their clients that are serious about the projects. And when they do that, they create a better plan, a better project, better estimates, better everything. Everything goes better. And the bottom line is the customer's happier, and you're going to get, your bottom line is going to be better because
Love it.
yeah, a lot of reasons why.
Yep. So we'll have to record another thing to dig into that deeper. But
I'd
I think
love to.
So this gave just a good solid overview. I appreciate that. And then best ways for people to reach out to you are?
Just head over to Chief Experts Academy or just chiefexperts.com. My contact information is there. You drop me an email, dan@chiefexperts.com. I'll get back to you as quick as I can.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right.
This has
Talk to
been
you
a
later.
blast. All right. See you later.